Luna thought she might be making progress. Just as she dared to believe there was still a path to redemption, a crack in the wall, a sliver of acceptance from Finn, everything blew apart. And not quietly. Not subtly. Not with restraint. No, the moment Steffy Forrester walked into that living room and laid eyes on Luna speaking to her husband, the bold and the beautiful delivered a detonation so fierce it didn't just rattle the house, it shook the foundation of the entire series. According to an insider on set, Jacqueline MacInnes didn't just bring fire to the scene, she was the fire. As soon as Steffy saw Luna in the living room, it was like watching a nuclear explosion in slow motion, the source revealed. Jam didn't just chew the scenery, she devoured it. And who could blame her? This wasn't just an uninvited guest. This wasn't just some emotional misunderstanding. Luna Nozawa is the woman who, in Steffy's mind, tried to steal her life. The trauma of being drugged, manipulated, and emotionally violated hasn't gone away. And now here that woman stands in Steffy's house, face to face with her husband, acting as though she belongs. It wasn't a scene. It was a reckoning. Steffy's reaction wasn't a tantrum. It was surgical fury. A precise storm of Stephanie Forrester's legendary wrath fused with Taylor Hayes' primal maternal protection. What came out of Steffy wasn't just anger, it was retribution. And Luna? She wasn't ready. No one could be ready for that level of rage, not even someone who thought she could handle Steffy. She stood there, stunned, as Steffy unleashed every ounce of venom she'd been storing since the day Luna entered their lives. Poor Finn. The man once seen as the calm eye of every storm was suddenly the epicenter. As if having Sheila Carter for a biological mother wasn't enough, now he finds himself tangled in another toxic spiral, one rooted in that same bloodline. Luna, the granddaughter of Sheila, carries more than a name. She carries traits. Dangerous ones. Manipulative ones. Boundary-defying, emotionally volatile ones. And for all his medical training, Finn was utterly unprepared for what was coming. Monday's episode didn't hold back. Just moments before Steffy burst in like a thunderclap, Finn had told Luna clearly, firmly, that there would be no relationship between them. Not now, not ever. He looked her in the eye and said what Steffy had long been begging him to say. That she couldn't just show up uninvited. That her past mistakes weren't something they could just smile past. That the damage had been done. But when Steffy arrived, the sight of Luna in their home obliterated everything Finn had just said. Because as far as Steffy's concerned, it doesn't matter if Finn had shut Luna down. The betrayal had already happened the second Luna crossed the threshold. Finn may have drawn a boundary with his words, but his actions letting Luna in, allowing that conversation, betrayed a softness Steffy could no longer tolerate. And that's where things got even darker. Because for the first time, Finn didn't cower. He didn't excuse. He didn't plead. According to sources on set, Tanner Novlan delivered his lines with a force fans haven't seen from him before. He told Luna to leave. He told Steffy she was right. But the question remains, was it too late? Steffy thinks it is. Her eyes said it before her mouth did. Trust is gone. Respect has been compromised. In Steffy's world, where loyalty is everything and betrayal is an unforgivable sin, the very presence of Luna in her home, after everything she's done, wasn't just disrespectful, it was war. Meanwhile, across town, another sinister thread was weaving itself into the chaos. Sheila Carter, always lurking, always watching, made an unexpected move. She interrupted a conversation between Bill Spencer and Liam, not to cause drama this time, but to express gratitude. Yes, gratitude to Bill for helping Luna gain a second chance. For clearing the path for her granddaughter's return to society. On the surface, it may have seemed innocent, even kind. But in the world of Sheila Carter, kindness is always a trap. Bill, surprisingly, believed the drama between Luna and Finn was over. He was wrong, because Sheila wasn't so sure. In fact, she looked anything but confident that Luna's ties to Finn were truly severed. That moment, brief, subtle, ominous, said it all. Sheila may have orchestrated this. From the start, was Luna's visit part of a larger plan? A calculated move by Sheila to crack open the already fragile walls of Steffi and Finn's marriage? To reinsert herself, through her granddaughter, into Finn's life? If so, she succeeded. Chaos has already been planted. Seeds of mistrust have taken root. And Finn is once again caught in a bloodline war that he never asked for. Let's be honest. The apple doesn't just fall close to the tree in this family, it drops like a bomb, explodes, and sends shockwaves across the city. The traits that made Sheila a menace, her charm, her manipulations, her refusal to hear no, they echo in Luna. Maybe not as overtly, maybe not maliciously, but they're there. And Steffi sees it even if no one else wants to. This isn't just about jealousy. This isn't about insecurity. This is about survival. Steffi is fighting for the safety of her home, her marriage, her children. She sees Luna as a threat, one forged in the same genetic furnace that birthed Sheila Carter. And if no one else is going to say it, Steffi will, and she'll say it loud. The fallout from this confrontation will be immense. Steffi and Finn may not recover. Luna, now shunned again, may be pushed even deeper into her grandmother's orbit. And Sheila, ever the puppet master, may finally get what she wants, a seat back at the table, whether anyone invites her or not. And what of Bill and Liam? Liam, still grappling with the looming shadow of his inoperable brain tumor, has enough on his plate. But now, thanks to Sheila's intervention, he has to watch his family fall apart again. Bill, ever the businessman, may have believed he was just helping a lost young woman. But he might have handed the keys to the kingdom back to the one woman who should never have them. Monday's episode wasn't just a blow-up. It was a turning point. A fracture line. A moment where loyalty was tested, blood ties were exposed as poison, and marriages were pushed to the brink. The bold and the beautiful doesn't just deal in love triangles anymore. It deals in legacies, warpaths, and psychological warfare. Steffi has drawn her line in the sand. Finn has chosen his words, but can he stand by them? Luna has been pushed out again, humiliated, enraged, and perhaps ready to lean into the very traits she's tried to suppress. And Sheila, she waits. She always waits. The Forrester Cliff House is no longer a sanctuary, it's a battlefield. And the war has only just begun. As the latest wave of revelations crashes through the bold and the beautiful, a shadowy figure lurks behind the curtain, and his name is Remy Price. To the casual observer, Remy might seem like a background player, just another technician who came and went, last seen fixing Bill Spencer's air conditioning unit. But longtime viewers know this show never introduces a name without a reason. And Remy Price may not be who he claims to be at all. In recent episodes, Remy has subtly inserted himself into storylines involving Elektra Forrester, the newest rising star in the Forrester legacy, and Luna Nozawa, whose lineage and presence already carry enough weight to create conflict. Remy has been watching, listening, keeping secrets, and lurking without much explanation. Why? Because what lies beneath his presence could be one of the most explosive revelations in B&B history. Let's rewind. Jack Marone. The long-forgotten, often ignored son of Brooke Logan and Nick Marone. A child born of one of the most controversial and emotionally charged storylines the show has ever explored. Years have passed. Jack, as a character, vanished from the narrative. Brooke rarely mentions him. Taylor Hayes, once deeply entwined in Jack's life due to the twisted surrogacy and custody battles, doesn't bring him up either. For a show that prides itself on generational legacy and family conflict, Jack's absence has been more than just a gap, it's been a void. Now, Jack Wagner is set to return as Nick Marone. And the timing? It's not random. Once again, Brooke finds herself with a broken heart. Once again, Nick returns. But this time, something feels different. Something feels unresolved. The question looms, where is Jack Marone? The answer, possibly, is right in front of us. What if Remy Price is Jack Marone? It would explain the eerie silence around Jack's whereabouts. It would explain why Remy's behavior is off, why he's watching Electra Forrester so intently, why he's keeping quiet about Luna. If Remy is Jack, then he has returned to Los Angeles with secrets, with an agenda, and with a darkness no one is prepared to face. Let's consider the implications. Brooke has spent years criticizing Ridge for defending Thomas Forrester, often branding him unstable and dangerous. She has held herself above reproach, elevating her children as examples of balance and virtue. But what if Brooke's own son is the real danger? What if Remy Jack has gone down a darker path, hiding in plain sight while planning something deeply personal and possibly sinister? Remy's behavior has already raised red flags. He's been caught manipulating photos of Electra Forrester, stalking her under the guise of harmless admiration. There's something obsessive in his eyes. Something calculated. If he is Jack, his fixation on Electra could have roots deeper than attraction. It could be revenge, resentment, or a desperate attempt at belonging. Electra is a Forrester. Jack's bloodline is tangled in Forrester legacy, yet he's been denied access to that world his whole life. If he feels cast out, this could be his twisted attempt to insert himself into it. The fact that Remy hasn't been acknowledged directly by name in connection to Brooke or Nick only deepens the mystery. Even Casey Kasperzik, the show's executive producer, has teased Jack's name being brought up during Nick's visit, but confirmed Jack won't appear with Nick. That detail is telling. If Jack is already on screen, just under a different name, Remy Price, it would be a reveal worthy of the show's most shocking twists. Imagine the fallout. Brooke, confronted by the fact that her long-lost son has returned not as a hero, but as a possible threat. Ridge, seeing Brooke's hypocrisy, laid bare her judgment of Thomas, contrasted with her denial of Jack's issues. Taylor, forced to reckon with her role in Jack's complicated early years. And Nick, coming face-to-face with a son who may resent him for years of abandonment, secrecy, or worse. Remy's connection to Luna also begs questions. Why is he hiding details about her? What does he know? Is Luna part of a larger secret he's protecting or exploiting? The more Remy or Jack remains in the shadows, the more danger he poses. His silence isn't benign. It's strategic. And then there's Electra. If Remy is obsessed with her, and if that obsession is rooted in some perceived injustice or vendetta, she could be in serious danger. Electra is young, ambitious, and in the spotlight. She represents everything Remy may feel excluded from. The longer she remains unaware of his true identity and intentions, the more vulnerable she becomes. The storyline could take multiple explosive paths. Remy might try to manipulate Electra into a relationship or sabotage her career to level the playing field. He might blackmail Luna into silence about his true identity. He might target Brooke herself, forcing her to face the truth she's been denying for years. Or he might implode under the weight of his own rage and longing, becoming a danger not just to individuals, but to the entire Forrester empire. And where does that leave the rest of the canvas? Ridge will certainly have thoughts. Learning that his half-brother Nick fathered a child who now threatens the Forrester family could ignite old rivalries. Steffi, fiercely protective of her legacy and her children, will not tolerate a wild card like Remy in her orbit. Liam, already facing his own mortality, might try to intervene and protect those caught in the crossfire, especially if Elektra or Hope becomes a target. Hope, in particular, could find herself emotionally tangled. She's always carried a sense of compassion, a desire to fix broken people. If she learns that Remy is Jack, she may try to help him, to bring him back from the brink. But that compassion could backfire. Remy isn't a project. He's a threat. One wrong move, and he could take everyone down with him. And Nick, returning to LA to find that his son has slipped into darkness, would face the biggest reckoning of all. As a father, as a man, he'd be forced to confront the damage done by absence, by silence, and by pride. The writing is on the wall. The clues are mounting. Remy Price is no ordinary technician. He's watching, waiting, hiding in plain sight. And when the truth comes out, when the people of Los Angeles realize that Jack Marone is not only back, but broken and dangerous, it will trigger a reckoning no one is prepared for. The real question is, can anyone stop him before it's too late?